I got a smile on my face. It's a beautiful day. I'm gonna smile at the world. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Green Nurse Podcast, where we bring hope and inspiration for growth and healing. I am live here with Christy Chapman of Chapman Health and Wellness. I just want to say a big shout out and a big thank you to Don Sebla of Exhibit City News here in Las Vegas, where we are broadcasting live. And so I'm out here in Vegas to record some of Elizabeth Mack's global programs with Holistic Caring, the Green Nurses. So before we get started on the show, because we're starting a little bit late Eastern time, I want to give people an opportunity to pop in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my favorite video of why we do what we do every day. Here we go.
Change the paradigm of healthcare.
The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I'm the founder of Holistic Caring. We're based here in California, and we do educational programs and case management for patients on how to use cannabis therapeutically as a medicine.
We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high, hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing.
As the founder of Holistic Caring, I basically oversee the whole ship. And what we're doing is progressive education.
Cannabis actually supports all 11 organ systems, our immune system, and all the neurotransmitter signaling systems that give messages to tell our body to either do something or not do something. Because the plant was prohibited, it prevented health professionals, doctors and nurses from learning about cannabis as medicine.
I want to change the paradigm of healthcare and us paving the way into a new vanguard of medicine. And I'm excited to really bring this into light. There's a company called Canam that we're merging with, and we will now be doing global education.
It's about education, it's about empowerment, it's about teaching people how to feel good, bridging the gap from what they're not getting from traditional medicine, utilizing different plant medicines, adaptogens, tips, tricks, hugs, and nugs of information to support and nourish the most important system in our body.
And it's a lot of soul work, a lot of love, a lot of discipline, and meditation. I'm using my life work as a testimony to others to learn how they can be their own hero and then go help heal the world.
And we are, as nurses, the game changers.
Oh, here we go. Growing in health, growing in cannabis. Welcome, everyone. I just want to say, boy, if it wasn't for cannabis growing, I wouldn't be growing in health. That is for sure. I'm so grateful to be here today. Like I said, broadcasting live from Las Vegas at Exhibit City News. Welcome to my co-host, Christine Chapman of Chapman Health and Wellness. And I'm going to share a story in just a minute, but I want Christine to give an opportunity to say hello. You know, we've been missing her for the past couple of weeks. She is an amazing healer and producer of medicine in our community. So Christine, just say hello to everyone, and then we'll hop right into the hugs and nugs of the day.
Good morning, everybody, and it is so wonderful to be here. We had a little technical difficulty. There are multiple microphones on my computer, so I'm so happy to be here and happy that you are in Las Vegas safe. Sherry, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, you know, it was. I'm gonna just tell you, you know, and we're gonna hop right into you a little bit, because what you created truly helped me yesterday when I thought I was going to have to go home. So I have this trip planned to come to Las Vegas to record, because what we're doing here at Holistic Caring is we are creating global programs, accredited global programs, not only for nurses and professionals, but also for patients. And so what I'm going to be doing here in Vegas is I'm in this really cool studio where I'm going to be recording. the patient pathway programs. So what ends up happening is here I am. I think I am all organized. Got the list going. Now, if you all didn't know, I have a little bit of agoraphobia, and I got a little bit of CPTSD, and I have a little bit of a panic disorder. So I've been really working through that through the years. So part of it is organization. And so really learning how to stay organized and focused, and cannabis helps with that. And so here I am, all prepared, ready to go. And then what happens? Life happens. Life. I can't control it, but it happens. And it was one thing after another where I truly didn't think I was going to be able to get on the plane. So the Uber driver was late. She couldn't find my place. Get to the airport, completely 40 minutes in traffic, literally get to the airport scraping by. Go to weigh my bag. I waited at home. It was 49 pounds. We get there. It was 55 pounds. So I'm juggling stuff at the curbside, trying to make it work. Then I get in and I go to the TSA, and I have everything organized. Can't find my license. I'm like, oh my God. So I take my bags out and I start ripping my bags out at TSA, opening things up, started to get that panicky feeling. And boy, you have no idea. I was like, where's my fucking cannabis? Excuse my language. And so I'm sitting there having a true meltdown in the middle of the airport. And I had to think to myself, okay, I had to really stop and pause and be like, am I supposed to do this? Like, all those flooding memories came in. I'm not supposed to be here. The universe is against me. I'm not supposed to travel. I should pack up and go home. Right. So all of this, but it was like, no, this is life happening. You have a choice. Are you going to give up? And I'm like, the plant. It's like, cannabis is in my corner. Got to figure out how to make this work. So I'm not even kidding you. At that moment in time, I whipped this out. Okay. Whipped this out because my chest was tight because of the panic. This looks just like an inhaler. And this is Christie's inhaler. It's a metered dose CBD inhaler. And I shook it up. And in that moment in time, I was able to get a puff of the inhaler into me. And I could feel it right now. And it worked instantaneously, where it was able to stop and I was able to regroup. And I got up and I said, the license, I left it at the curbside. So I'm sitting here with my inhaler. Go to curbside. The guys go, yes, indeed, your license is here, but we had to turn it in elsewhere. And I'm like, I had to go to the Lost and Found, get my license. So between all of that, the plane is boarding and I haven't even made it through TSA yet. So I go booking back to the line, stick myself, all the stuff in. I have a necklace on. So, I'm in the scanner going like this. I read hot in the scanner. So they go, ma'am, step over here. Meanwhile, I've got mascara down my face. I'm sweating, dry mouth. I can barely talk. They had to frisk me. And of course, there was nothing there. And then my other bag was, over somewhere else. And it was just amazing. And I just literally sat there and I allowed it to happen. And I didn't give up. I didn't have to go to the emergency room for a panic attack. I didn't have to, I didn't stop. I didn't give up. And it was truly because I was able to gather the tools necessary through my journey of healing in regards to cannabinoid therapeutics. So cannabis is one tool in the toolbox. I knew it was going to work for me immediately when I was in the airport. However, I didn't know what I was going to have access to. And so when Christy came out with this product and it was discreet and no one had any idea I was able to use this, I was like, wow, thank God for people like Christy Chapman who have those visions. You had a vision, you saw a need and you created it. So really, I want you to talk about your company really quickly, and then we're going to dive more into the show because it's Tidbit Tuesday, Terpene Tuesday. So why did you create this, Christy? Because, I really feel like you made it for me.
You know what, Sherry, you're actually telling my story. When I initially looked at meter dose inhalers as a bronchodilator and it being something that we could measure, it wasn't I feel better. It was measurable. And that being in medicine, of course, is always important. Well, while I was investigating it for its property of being a better bronchodilator than what they're using in the hospitals currently for a rescue inhaler, I noticed that I got my homeostasis when I had anxiety I could take a few puffs of it. And not only that, but I could take it anywhere. I could be sitting at dinner, and as we know, I have some gastrointestinal issues, and that can be very, very uncomfortable. Just like you running through the airport, it is an onset that is very uncomfortable. And what do we do about it? And what do we do about it so that we can continue with living our best life without it taking us out for 12 hours? Sherry, I can recall going to the emergency room for pain 1 out of a 10. I think I was at a 15. And they would offer me their medications, and I would say, no, thank you. I'll be down for 12 hours if I take what you want me to have. But if I take what cannabis has given me in my tool belt, I will be home and back to work in no time at all. So, yes, you made my heart just feel warm.
I hope I made your heart full, because you know what?
Because
number one, it worked. And number two, it was because here's in the past, people that have PTSD, complex PTSD, have panic attacks and they're prolonged. It is like, I don't want to put it as severe as a seizure, but because it's not as severe, but physiologically it is so visceral. It's exhausting. It takes
exhausting.
You like, so I was planning on the plane doing work. So, right. I got this comfort seat. I got my laptop picked up, and it was like I needed to recover. I needed to let the cannabinoids enter into my space. I needed to take care of myself in that moment. So it was really interesting. I just want to say high five to Green Nurse Carrie Lee. And Carrie Lee says to me, and she's right, your job on a day of travel is to travel and take care of yourself. Anything else is sprinkles. So what do we do? So those daily 5 to thrive, that Carrie Lee does. We have the 3 P's of energized living: prayer, protection, and play, right? So how can I do these? And they were absolutely right. I needed to stop beating myself on the head that I couldn't get it all done. Cannabis allowed me to sink into the moment of now, sink into, okay, I'm having a human experience. I need to embrace it. I can't beat myself up about it. I need to know I'm going to move through it, because you always do, right? And you think you're not going to be able to get through something, you get through it. At the particular time, you may not feel it. That's where I have found cannabinoids to be really, really helpful, to help me to move beyond that paralyzing fear. So I can step into, how do I want to become? I don't want to be back in the past. But the issue with PTSD and complex PTSD, it is a visceral response. You can't I am so cognitive of what's happening. I know exactly what's happening in my body. I know exactly what's happening in my mind. But having the ability to stop it, I couldn't do it. And I've tried and tried and tried. So it's like, you know what? It's okay to have a tool such as cannabis to help break that, right? So you think about when people go into panic attacks, they grab for their Xanax, or they grab for their Ativan, or they grab for something else. There's nothing wrong with that. We all deserve to feel good. It's just the choice of what we want to utilize to help us to step into the space of getting back into balance, right? And so if I use traditional pharmaceuticals, I would have been laid out even more. So in other words, my recovery time yesterday was 6 hours on the plane, induced in a nice, beautiful cannabinoid bathing. I took some THC, the inhaler, a little gummy, a little tincture, and my recovery was much quicker because I was able to sink into the spirit and the wisdom of plant medicine. I was able to put on my little headset. I had my visualizations. I had my handy dandy health coach book from Elizabeth. I love you, girl. I love you, Elizabeth. And, my recovery from that panic attack was much quicker. So in the past, if I didn't have cannabis, I would have been loaded on pharmaceuticals. I would have been like half dead, exhausted, and have gotten into my space of where I was traveling to, not being able to function. So yesterday when I got off the plane, it was like noontime here in Vegas. I had a whole day, and I had that opportunity to sleep off. I call it the PTSD panic attack hangover.
Oh, and that's a good one.
That's exactly what it is. It's the panic attack PTSD hangover that some patients experience. And so it was just, I just can't say enough about it. You all know, I'm just going on
Oh,
and on. It was really, thank
my
you.
heart is just so full. I love, Sherry, that you get the reason why I am so passionate about bringing this product forward. Some people will say, boy, you make a lot of noise. But when I received the relief that you are speaking of right now, and I was able to take this and put it in my toolbox of cannabis products, and I too partake of cannabis, THC, but I work a lot. I needed to know that I could bring myself into balance from an anxiety attack, a gastrointestinal nausea attack, and be able to get balanced and give myself the opportunity to pause, get my tools, take my deep breath, recognize that I'm human, and how can I move forward and be my best self. And for me, being able to use a tool of a meter dose inhaler and being able to move forward with my day means the world to me. Now, just in closing that story, when I first began working with meter dose inhalers and some people from the medical field that I knew, it helped the nausea part too. So I was really looking at, can I get back up from having 4 months in bed and losing over 100 pounds from just not being able to eat? So that was my answer. And so I will shout it as loud as I can. I'm so happy that you found yourself in Las Vegas, rested.
I know, me too.
Balance.
It's good. It's completely good. Balanced, rested, you know what I mean? And here I am back at it. Really, really excited. And this is going to lead into, I'm not going to ever give up. You know, this is, thank you, cannabis. Thank you, plant medicines. You know, really, 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 truly grateful. And then this is going to step into our affirmation part of the show. And then we're going to get into Tidbit Tuesday with the terpenes. So, you know, part of the other part of healing, right, is to think, imagine it, right? If you can imagine it, you can manifest it. So this was a great quote from a book that I'm reading now called Untamed, and it's written by Glennon Doyle. And the quote of the day is this: our imagination is where we go to remember. Okay, so if you can imagine it, you can manifest it. Our imagination is the seed of manifestation. So even in our darkest moments, right? Go to your imagination. I had a dark moment yesterday. And where did I go? I went to my imagination of what would it be like if I could get there, if I could get to Vegas, right? Went to my imagination. So I imagined that this plant would help me heal so I could get back to helping to heal others. And here we are today. So way back when I was really sick, I imagined the unfolding of the green nurse. I sat there and was just like, if I can figure out how to make this work, if I can figure out how to make cannabis work for me, you can call me the green nurse. So I imagine that unfolding of developing a platform. And guess what? Here we are today. I imagined partnering with other like-minded individuals, and the green nurse merged with holistic caring. I imagined a green nurse approved marketplace. And here we are today with the green nurse approved marketplace, vetting products and services, looking and evaluating at CBD product lines, and giving them the nice big green nurse approved stamp of approval. So I imagined people in the cannabis space creating medicine that is truly based on a need, based on what patients want and need, as well as providers. And guess what? Christy from Chapman Health and Wellness showed up, and here we are today. And I know that Christy imagined Chapman Health and Wellness at one point in time in her life. And Christy, you want to share a little bit about your imagination and what brought you there to Chapman Health?
Absolutely. Our imagination is so important. Manifesting is so important. I recall the very first manifestation of my life that has actually come to fruition. And I was laying in bed, very, very ill. And I I imagined myself near water and healing and a slower life. And here I am multiple years later. I do live by water. My life is very quiet, and a lot of healing has gone on. So when one experiences that kind of change in their own life, it is something that I personally, and I know many nurses and other people, desire to share that with other people. How do you live a better life? When you get in a ditch, what tools did you use? And are you going to share those with others, or are you just going to continue to climb your mountain? I wanted other people to get the relief that I did. So, of course, topicals was my first introduction to relief in the cannabis space, and allowed me to take opiates off of my regimen. You know, I spoke with my health insurance company for an evaluation, and the young man said, "Okay, we're going to do a list of your medications." And I didn't have any. I had some supplements, and he was like, that is really strange or unheard of, or, you know, just, he went on to share that people are on lists and lists of medications, and the way that made me feel, I don't want anyone else to feel. So when you can reach for the plant instead of something that is going to take you down or out or change who you are, you know, those are not medicines that I want to encourage. So I envisioned Chapman Health and Wellness that encompassed multiple modalities so that people could have their own choice of what they were comfortable with. So here I am. We have Chapman Health and Wellness, and we are growing. We have just been so blessed with the people that have come alongside us and encouraged us, loved us. We just have a wonderful support group, and we look forward to growing and helping many, many people.
Yes. And so for the new people that are out there, please explore Chapman Health and Wellness. And if you use Green Nurse for free shipping, right? And the code, or is it a code? I forget, 20% off or free shipping or both. I don't remember. But I know on the website
for Green Nurses, all caps.
Oh, there we go. I'm going to write that right in there. So yeah, so Green Nurses is the passcode, the promo code for you to explore one of these amazing.
You know, actually, I don't believe there's an S on there now that I think about it.
Okay,
Jerry.
Green Nurse. Yeah, I think
Green Nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make sure I put it in the notes later for sure. So, you know, and so why we're here, right? So the National Council of State Boards of Nursing put out a call to action that all nurses must have 6 essential areas of clinical knowledge when it comes to cannabis as medicine. So what we like to do on Tuesdays is we like to do hugs and nugs, tidbits, right? Terpene Tuesday, and terpenes are really, really cool, you know, things. I never really learned about a terpene until I started to investigate and look into cannabis as medicine. So we talk about whole plant medicine. The whole of the plant is greater than its individual parts. Terpenes are part of whole plant medicine. You can pull them out and you can study them and you can utilize them in multiple different things. So terpenes are these organic compounds that produce the specific smells and tastes. And they're found in cannabis, essential oils, plants, trees, and foods. So terpenes actually help ward off attacks from animals, insects, fungus during the growth cycle of the plant. And when the cannabis plant goes through the oxidation process, the curation process. So as the plant starts to evolve and develop and gets ready for harvesting, it starts to cure. And the terpenes become oxidized, resulting in what we know as terpenoids. And they contribute, like I had said, to the entourage effect and have their own healing properties. The entourage effect suggests that the whole of the plant is greater than its individual parts, and using cannabinoids and terpenoids together produces a more potent medicinal effect rather than using it alone. So this week we're going to discuss the Terpene Geraniol. And this terpene's name may sound really familiar because it's derived from the geranium plant. And this herb is known for its citrus scent and its insect repelling properties. I find it really fascinating that it's been known to attract beneficial insects such as honeybees. It has a gentle rose-like scent with subtle notes of fruit and a softer smell than the strong smell of citronella oil that's found in geraniums. So it's often, because it smells like rose, it's often ingredient in the creation of perfumes. It's been used as food additives and other household products. And geraniol does have antioxidant, neuroprotective, anti-inflammatory, vasorelaxation, and anti-tumor effects. So in our little handy dandy notes here, Christine, do you see the description of geraniol and its cautions?
I do. Description of
Nice.
geraniol and cautions. Concentrated geraniol is a colorless, pale yellow, oily liquid and is considered an allergen that may cause skin, eye, and respiratory irritations.
There you go. And the scent description, a little bit more.
Oh, floral, rosy, citrus, which is my favorite, and tangy.
Yes.
Citrus is such a great
Energizer.
energizer.
Yellow.
It just
Feels good.
lifts citrus along with tangerine, lemongrass. They're great to give you a little boost.
Total
Even
boost.
put a drop or two in some water and even spray it on your face for relaxation.
Yeah. I love all the
Sweet
natural
terpene.
sources that it's found in. Like, look at, it's found like not only geraniums and rose oil and the lemongrass that you mentioned, but like peaches, grapefruits, oranges, carrots, coriander, blueberries, blackberries, and even tobacco, which I found interesting.
Now, what
I
does
really,
that
really
tell us that it's found in so many things? Maybe that our body needs it, would utilize it, enjoy
possibly. Exactly.
Maybe.
Right. So just this is like the whole thing too about plant medicine is the multiple different components. And when you're looking at lemons have multiple different components in health and wellness besides the vitamin C and the antioxidants. There's other things that are in these different compounds and these herbs and foods and fruits and vegetables that, you know, truly do nourish the endocannabinoid system. Now, the part that I really loved about this specific terpene was its connection to honeybees. So the strangest
Yes.
synthesis of geraniol is within honeybees, and honeybees produce geraniol. They produce it in their scent glands as both a marker for nectar-bearing fruits and to mark their territory to ward off dangerous colonies from creating a hive or over-pollinating a site. So these honeybees create this terpene in their scent glands to mark off and protect where they want to have, you know, where they want to collect their, you know, their, all of their nectar. I think it's fascinating.
Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah. And then just to go into other uses, found in an additive in perfumes, colognes, lotions, detergents, candles, as well as many other household products. It's used as a food additive in pastries and desserts. And just to get into a couple different studies really quickly here. So I was looking in Canakeys, and there were 32 total studies in Canakeys in regards to geraniol. And this was them isolating it, pulling the geraniol out. So 8 lab studies in vitro, and in vitro means done outside a living organism, for example, like a petri dish.
Mm-hmm.
There was 18 lab studies, which were done in vivo, and they're done inside a living organism, for example, animal testing. And then they had 2 meta-analysis, which combines the results from multiple scientific studies and papers. And then there was 1 human clinical trial, and that actually demonstrated geraniol in the combination with CBD was effective for irritable bowel syndrome, which I found was really interesting. So the studies by organ systems, when it came to studying geraniol, looked at digestive, nervous, respiratory, cardiovascular, immune, endocrine, reproductive, integumentary, and skeletal systems. So it's been used at the center of studies, and it demonstrates a lot of the therapeutic potential. And the top conditions related to geraniol studies include what, Christine? You got your notes up there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a hair in my eye. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So the top conditions related to geraniol studies: cancer, non-specific cancer, oxidative stress, colon cancer, spinal cord injuries.
Oh, yes. Staph infections, which is come so far. Metabolic syndrome, pre-diabetes, colitis, cardiac arrhythmias, and even Parkinson's.
There we go. There you go. And then there's some other studies.
The other studies, essential oils with geraniol have also been found to have potential tumor reduction properties in cancer cells and may even be able to inhibit the growth of colon cancer cells. Animal studies, primarily on hamsters and rats, have shown the potential of geraniol to manage diabetes and hyperglycemia. Interesting.
Yeah,
as well as to help migrate the symptoms of atherosclerosis. That's a mouthful this early, a condition that causes the formation of plaque in the arteries.
Yes. So if you think about this, right, when they talked about earlier about vasorelaxation, right, opening up those vessels. So when you have atherosclerosis, you have the formation of plaque that's building up and up and up and up. And then what happens is your arteries get so stenosed that it's hard for blood to get through. So if you can imagine having a substance using cannabinoids and these terpenes that have these potential medicinal effects, it could help prevent that high blood pressure that's caused by atherosclerosis, right? You think about your blood vessels get really tight, your heart's got to beat harder to get through. Well, how nice would it be to have a plant that helps to open up and vasodilate and relax to allow that oxygen-rich blood to circulate more through our body? So the receptor that's associated most with geraniol is the Ppar gamma receptor, and this is found in all tissues except for muscle. Very interesting, the Ppar gamma receptor is found in adipose tissue, especially in the gut. So this is another thing that's really, really important, which also demonstrates our need to eat healthy fats. Cannabinoids are fat soluble, so healthy sources of fat. Cannabis strains that are high in geraniol. Let's go through this list real quick.
Go ahead and take this one.
Okay, it's a long list.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. So when we talk about strains, these are particular strains that I like to mention specifically for people that like to inhale. There's a lot of products that are out there on the market today that are trying to mimic strain specific. And when we're looking at strains, we're looking at various different things: cannabinoid profile, terpene profile, and ratios. Okay, so when we are talking about other consumables such as capsules and tinctures, we like to quantify as chemotype. So chemotype 1 is more THC than CBD. Chemotype 2 is equal amounts of THC and CBD. And chemotype 3 is more CBD than THC. And then the fourth one is CBG dominant types of products. So when we talk about, like I said, cannabinoid strains that are high in geraniol, they also have different components. It's just that they contain this terpene more often than not. So amnesia haze, Afghani, headband, great white shark.
Such a good one.
I'm going to tell you, my headband experience, I felt like I had a headband.
You will remember headband.
Remember headband. OG shark, lavender, master shark, Agent Orange, blackberry soda, harlequin, lemon grass, lemon G, strawberry diesel, Tahoe OG, purple punch, Dutch Hawaiian, and Kimbo. Believe it or not, I've tried a lot of these. And so, like I said before, when I like to look at strain names and all of the different things when I'm going to inhale. And the reason why is because it gives me an indication as to how I'm going to feel. Whereas if I'm going to consume something else, whether it be a gummy, tincture, capsule, I want to know the ratio of THC, CBD, and the other cannabinoids because I'm consuming it a different way. And what are the other terpenes that are potentially in there that are going to support that? Like I said, the goal of cannabinoid therapeutics is to use the least amount to get the most potent medicinal effect so you can have the outcome that you're looking for. Right?
Absolutely.
So this has been awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome show.
You are so full of knowledge, Sherry. We just appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, guess what?
What?
And you can all get more knowledge too by joining us in the community. So the Green Nurse Holistic Caring Community, we are so passionate about this plant. that we have created. Actually, Elizabeth has. I'm going to take a little credit for it. But Elizabeth Mack, the CEO and founder of Holistic Caring, has created a network for patients, providers, and people across the globe. And so what's really wonderful about the network is that it is off social media, it's private, and you have the capability of connecting with other providers and patients across the globe. We have a free introductory to cannabis course, patient portal, support group, and book club where you don't even need to own the book. So really excited, would love to have you all there. And we also have educational on our CBD marketplace. So our Green Nurse approved CBD marketplace where Christy Chapman, Chapman Health and Wellness is located. So thank you all for joining us today. This has been an awesome show. Christy and I will be on again next Tuesday. This week is a very interesting the next couple of weeks because I'm out west. So tomorrow's show is going to be 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to be with my girl, Carrie Lee, Green Nurse, Iowa. All right, everyone, remember what it's all about. It's about living your best life and helping others do the same. We love you.